Now, Danny Rocco and Charles Bell with us from the University of Delaware, and we welcome the new head coach of the Delaware Blue Hen, but not a new face to CAA Media Day, that's for sure. A lot of wins, a lot of great things done at the University of Richmond, but you come over to the University of Delaware program with a long tradition. What was it about Delaware that made that the right fit to make a change?
Well, first of all, I'm really excited to be back here in Baltimore. This is a great event here today, and really an honor for me to be representing the University of Delaware. I think as I looked at my career and this conference right here that I have an awful lot of respect for, I wanted to put myself in a position where we would have a model where we could really sustain success. And I think the commitment that's being made at Delaware, the tradition, the support, the energy, I think allows us to be able to go out and to kind of rebuild this thing. Then once we have it functioning the way we need to have it functioning, I think we can sustain success. So there's been a lot of things that have really allowed me to be excited, enthusiastic, and very comfortable with our transition to Delaware.
You use the word rebuild, and you've taken over two other programs in the past that are coming off of losing seasons, like Delaware will be when you start on August 31st. What can you take from those experiences? And by the way, Coach Rocco never had a losing season as a head coach, so you've been able to be successful in those turnarounds. What can you take from those experiences?
Well, I think you take an awful lot. I do believe, though, that every transition is different, every team is different. And you have to look at the makeup of your team and what kind of senior leadership do you have, what kind of talent do you have, what kind of depth do you have. But I think we have a model in place that gives our student athletes the best opportunity to be successful and to build upon and to sustain success. And I've told my team since the first day that I arrived at Delaware is that we're committed to winning this year. I'm not looking to back end anything. You know, sometimes for the coach, there's decisions made to kind of back end his success because it makes the coach look good. But we're committed to our seniors, and our seniors deserve to go out as winners. And we're going to do everything in our power to offer them the very best possible experience that we can to give them the opportunity to experience the joy and the thrill of victory.
Now, Charles, a lot of twos in this question. You're two-time leading tackler for this Blue Hen defense. You're a two-time captain, a two-time member now of CAA Football Media Day, so welcome back.
Thank you.
But I think the important one here is being named captain twice. You know, now your senior season. What do you take away from that? What does that say about you and your teammates and how they look up to you?
Yeah, I mean, it's really an honor that my teammates feel that I can lead this team for 2 years in a row. So it's just an honor for me to go out there and do the best I can every day to lead them.
Especially with the transition, bringing in a new head coach, you know, being the captain. What type of roles and responsibilities are you inheriting now with this transition coming into the season?
I think the big thing with transition is just to keep everyone focused. And we just have to put our heads down and work so we can achieve our goal this year.
Charles Bell sitting next to you, part of a linebacking duo that I'm sure puts fear in a lot of offenses that have to go against it. Your captain, Charles Bell, and Troy Reeder. What have they done to earn that title?
Well, they're the same guy every day, and I think that is the thing that I'm most excited about. I need to have guys in the program that will emulate the model day in and day out. And just like Nick Boyle talked about earlier today, these guys show up to work every day with the right attitude, the right level of intensity, and the right level of focus. And that permeates through your roster. So I think we got an outstanding tandem of inside linebackers in these two guys, and we have high hopes and high expectations for them this year.
Let's flip it over to the offensive side of the football, where Delaware has struggled mightily throwing the football the past couple of years, ranked at the bottom of FCS football in passing, but you have very talented running backs. So what type of offensive philosophy will you bring to the head?
Well, I think even before you talk about the offensive philosophy, I think what I recognize this spring is that I've got a physical football team. And we're physical in the offensive line and defensive line. We got physicality in the front seven. Our secondary plays a physical style of football. So I believe that will be our trademark, and in doing so, or in saying so, we got to be able to run the football with power and authority. And we do have a stable of backs that have an opportunity to run behind a big, physical, and pretty experienced offensive line. I feel like we've got 8, 9, 10 guys in that offensive line that can really make a contribution this year. So we're going to try to run the ball. We're going to try to win the line of scrimmage. We're going to try to develop an attitude, a mindset, and then set up our passing game off of that run game.
And Charles, I'm asking a lot of the players this here at Media Day, especially because, with Nick Boyle being here, Baltimore Raven, former Delaware Blue Hen. When you watch NFL, is there a player that you're trying to emulate out there that when you're watching games on Sundays?
Yeah, I mean, definitely. Paul Warlow, just because he's from Delaware, he played at Delaware, kind of same shoes I'm in. So if I could end up like him, it'd be great.
Of course, him playing in the Super Bowl. What do you think that means to you guys in the program, seeing a former Blue Hen playing in the Super Bowl?
Yeah, it's definitely a great exposure for our program, having a former player playing the Super Bowl.
Delaware, a great tradition, a long tradition. What are the keys to getting Delaware back to being a consistent playoff team? I know it takes 1 year, 1 game at a time, but when you look at the plan that you have at Delaware, what are some keys to success?
Well, I think the first thing that I want to be able to talk about is just the amazing support that we have gotten since our arrival from our administration, our president, Chrissy Raywalk, our athletic director. Our alumni and our lettermen have been extraordinary, and what they've been doing, stepping up, going up to the plate, and supporting us in a very, very big way. That's very meaningful as we move forward. I think our ability to have some consistency with our staff, I was able to bring a number of coaches with me from Richmond that allows us to have a consistent message moving forward. But I think ultimately it comes down to playing better and being better in the biggest moments of the game. And the last couple of years, we have not really done well in those moments. And then the ability ultimately to believe. We got to be able to believe in who we are, believe in each other, and have confidence that we're going to find a way to win.
All right, we look forward to your first year in Newark, and best of luck to everyone with the Blue Hens.
Actually, Scott, not to even interrupt, we do have our first question here on Facebook Live. Didn't want to start, it just kind of came in from Ken Bozick. First of all, it says Bell is the best. How's the O-line looking this year, Coach?
Well, Ken, the offensive line, I think, is really, really solid. Kern and Trump give us great leadership, senior leadership. We've got a lot of competition, I believe, for some of the other spots in that offensive line. So I had said it earlier, I really think we got 8 or 9 guys that really can factor in to making a contribution, and I'm really excited about that element of our football team.
They'll certainly miss Connor Bozick. Good question from social media.